Curry to Green. Back to Curry. Step back. Three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry drills the three. It's a 6-point Warriors lead. Timeout Boston.
Hey there, and welcome to Game Time at the Finals, presented by State Farm. I'm Stephanie Reddy, alongside NBA champion Steve Smith. Smitty, Game 4 in the books. Looking forward to Game 5. Steph Curry had a historic night in Game 4. We will talk about that, and at the end, we'll let you get the folks at home ready for 5. Steph Curry, from behind the arc, 50%, 7 for 14. That's not a typo. 10 rebounds, 43 points. He was terrific, and his teammates understood why he's so valuable. Let's listen to Draymond and the others.
He wasn't letting us lose. That's just what it boils down to. Came out and showed why he's one of the best players to ever play this game. Why, this organization has been able to ride him to so much success.
You played a lot of finals games next to him. Where would you kind of put this in his finals performance resume?
Yeah, I think probably number one. I mean, this was nearly a must-win game, and to go out there and shoot as efficiently as he did, and grab 10 rebounds. The heart on that man is incredible.
We just had to let everybody know that we were here, whether that's their crowd, their team, our team, whoever wants to see that energy and that fire. We feed off of that. You can want it so bad, you kind of get in your own way a little bit, and everybody feels a little bit of pressure, and it can go the opposite way. I wanted to try to leverage that, in a positive direction for us. I don't rank my performances, though. Just win the game.
Taking a look at his shot chart, Smitty, there's a lot of green.
It is, and efficient, 14 for 26, and you said it best, 50% on 7 for 14, but we don't get a chance to see on this shot chart. Maybe we can add that as how close are the defenders were to Steph Curry, and we'll get a chance to watch it right here. They're doing a great job. Give the Boston Celtics. They had some lapses, but right here, staying connected, that's a nice pick. Al Horford needed to be up. That's a beautiful pick by Andrew Wiggins. On this play right here, you see he's playing a little coy. Look at Williams, Robert Williams. You got to come up. That little split second, but give Derek White a lot of credit. He was all over that shot. He still knocked it down. Then off the dribble, this is where he got much better. Great pass out. Gary Payton II had a wide open shot, but he kept moving without the basketball, and this is the perfect play. Draymond catches it. Watch Steph. Takes off, and then puts on brakes. What can you do about that? I give Derek White a lot of credit. He is contesting. He's all over Steph, but the guy has 43 points. But I think you said it best. The threes we've seen, the points we've seen, 10 rebounds. Steph went in there and rebounded the basketball, and what a finals he's having. Averaging 34.3 on 50% field goal and also 49% from three. But he doesn't get a lot of open shots. These are contested, some of them questionable fouls, and he's knocking them down. And he's playing strong, and he's playing through contact. He is willing the Golden State Warriors to each victory right now.
It is so impressive, especially in a series where the rebounding margin has really dictate the result of the game. You have your scorer getting 10 boards. I mean, that is, you said earlier, the margin of rebounding it's impressive. So that leads us to, can he do it again, Smitty, in Game 5?
I think the word you use for Steph Curry is gravity. He might not have 43, but I think he can get 30. And they're 41-9 in the playoffs when he gets 30 or more. But the gravity he pulls with him will get Draymond Green a easy bucket. Will get Kevon Looney an easy bucket. And then now I think what the Boston Celtics have to be worried about, Klay Thompson, it looks more confident, he looks more healthy, and obviously he had a big-time fourth quarter to go along with Steph Curry. They close out the Boston Celtics together. You get those two going and that gravity that Steph is pulling everybody to him, and those other guys get easier shots. And let's not forget, Wiggins has had a very nice series. 17 points and 16 rebounds. He's played well.
That was a career high for Wiggins for rebounding, not just in the finals or in the playoffs. Regular season included, 16 rebounds, showing up when it's the most important. Boston
and
Celtics.
he guarded Jason Tatum.
Correct.
Doing a great job.
Right? A lot required, and they're figuring it out. The Boston Celtics have been known for their defense ever since the turn of the calendar. They've turned it on, highly ranked. It's hard to play against them, but they struggled in this game. Let's hear from the Celtics themselves.
We just kind of got a little stagnant. everybody just kind of standing around looking at whoever had the ball and try no player movement, no ball movement. We just got to do a better job executing down the stretch.
Every time we got a 5-6 point lead, it felt like we made some poor decisions. Not sure if we tried to pick on mismatches too much. It got stalled out a little bit, but when we did run off-ball actions and got some movement, we got really good looks. A lot of times it felt like we were standing around unsure of who we were trying to go after, and led to those stalled out possessions.
You often bring up the spacing after things go wrong with your offense. What is the issue that you see that keeps popping up?
Well, you just answered your own question. Spacing, when things go wrong, that tends to be, offensively, some of the things that we don't do well. We don't get space. We kind of don't take our time, and we kind of get a little bit sped up. And we just need to get more settled in those moments.
No luck in the clutch. This is from Game 4. Remember, clutch time is the last 5 minutes of the game when the score is within 5 points. And it is stark, Smitty. I mean, not just 0 points, but 0 for 5, only 1 rebound. It's tough to win under those circumstances.
It is. And I think when you watch the Boston Celtics, it comes down to just watching what in the clutch, and then the second half is what Jason Tatum is doing. I think also the offense of the Boston Celtics. In wins and points in the paint, they're averaging about 43 points. In losses, they're averaging about 28 points. That's a difference of 15 points. I think for them, they settle too much with jump shots. I think they got to find a way to find a mismatch, and obviously there's been a lot of mismatch. When you have Jordan Poole and also Steph Curry on the floor, you're going to try to go at them defensively, but sometimes there's Grant Williams is guarded by Steph Curry, and he's just hanging out in the corner. Advantage Steph. Some kind of way, you got to make him pay. You got to go post up or go, definitely if you're Grant Williams, even from the corner, I know it's a long run, it's work. You got to go try to get the offensive rebound, make Steph have to box you out.
Right.
It's about 9 or 10 possessions, and especially in the clutch when Steph is on Grant Williams or a bigger person, they have to make him pay.
Very interesting. I cannot wait to see what happens. I mean, we've seen several adjustments being made by both coaches. It is truly a chess game in the NBA Finals. We will talk more about Steph Curry and the wonder that he is, especially at his age, continuing to excel. We'll have a Game 5 preview. Smitty will give you his perspective. And speaking of Smitty, we're just going to work him to death tonight. He had a chance to sit down with Jabari Smith Jr. We're going to listen in on that conversation. You do not want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Much needed win. Game we had to have. Came out and showed why he's one of the best players that ever played this game. And why, this organization has been able to ride him to so much success. It's just absolutely incredible.
Marcus in the back.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. Draymond, when you see Steph shoot like that and play like that, everybody can witness that part. But what could you say about, his toughness, against a defense like this, with his foot hobbled? What could you say about how resilient he is?
Same thing I've always said. Him was one of the most resilient, toughest guys that ever played with. The way defenses guard him, they're constantly grabbing, and he just continues to play. He don't make much of it. He just continues to do what he does. So, it just says a lot about his toughness. And his competitive nature and what it truly means to be a winner.
Tim on the right.
Draymond, what was your reaction? Were you surprised when you got taken out when you did in the fourth quarter? It looked like you were not thrilled by that. And how did you kind of go through the offense-defense kind of substituting it out at the end of the game?
Definitely never thrilled coming out of the game with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in a must-win game. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was thrilled. I'm a competitor. But at the end of the day, if that's what coach decides, then you roll with it. And, I had to keep my head in the game. And, whenever I went back in, try to make some plays. And so that was just my mindset. Don't make too much of it. I've always been of the on the bandwagon of, if you got something and it's rolling, you stick with it. So it is what it is.
Dan.
We welcome in Malika Andrews from Boston, and it's interesting. I'm looking at the box score here for Draymond. It's the second game in a row with just 2. but he was able to come in and grab a rebound, and they called a timeout, took him out on offense. It's just interesting. I wonder what we heard Draymond's reaction. What other reaction is there to the way he was used here in the fourth?
Yeah, well, when I was talking with Steve Kerr when he was in the interview room, he said, I know that Draymond probably wasn't thrilled to come out at that point, but he also said that he knows that at the end of the day, what matters the most, right, Scott, is winning. He is a competitor. You heard Draymond said it.